Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Clay Stevens. Super excited to be with you here on a beautiful sunny morning in central Utah. Pretty fired up for what we're doing, where we're going, and how things are happening. We'll start with a couple of things. We're going to get to hear from, in a few minutes, we're going to get to hear from the Chief Science Officer, formulator of Better 5, and of course he's done a whole bunch of other things which will be coming forth in the future for us. So pretty excited to be able to have him. We'll get to hear from him in a few minutes. But I just wanted to start by just reiterating the notion that that things don't happen on accident. That I don't know the cosmic reasons why, the universal reasons why things happen exactly the way that they happen. I just know that most of us don't have chance encounters, chance endeavors. Most of the time, depending on your religious belief, either God or the universe are continuously conspiring to help us get what we need so that we can become who we're supposed to become and create the life that we actually desire. And I was thinking the last day or so what I wanted to be able to talk about this morning. Wanted to talk just for a minute about the notion of second chances. We had a very dear friend of ours pass away this last week, completely unexpected, not sick, no challenges. We were at their house and she was talking like normal. It was great. Everything was good. They had family scriptures and prayer and went to bed and she didn't wake up. How was that? Boom. 67 years old. Now, that might, for some of you who may be either listening live or to the recording of this, you may think, well, 67 years old is like ancient. Well, it's not ancient, really. It's like, okay, she's getting her groove on at this point. So it's important to recognize, and if you have second chances, I'm thinking, I'm going to get to go to a funeral today, and I'm just thinking, man, if she could go back, would she do anything over again, right? Like, would she say things differently? Not necessarily do specific kinds of things or make different choices or whatever, although that might be true as well. But just thinking about her relationships with other people. If she could do things in a different way, if she could have a second chance, what would or might be in some way different? Now, she might not change anything because she may not have wanted a different result, other than I suspect she would want to probably live a longer life. She was pretty happy, seemed pretty happy for sure. So I was thinking about second chances. I have done a lot of things in network marketing, been involved in a few companies that have had some success and have enjoyed actually pretty good lifestyle as a result of the fact that I engaged in an industry which gives us the opportunity to choose the way that we live. We get to choose this. Now, there have been times when I thought, well, I'm not making this choice. I'm not choosing to struggle. I'm not choosing to have challenges. Well, those challenges help us to create what we want to create. We're being uniquely prepared for either the moment in which we are in, or we're being uniquely prepared for moments in the future that we don't know yet. The problem is we don't know the whole roadmap, right? So we move along and we learn, and hopefully we can take a minute and say, what am I learning from this? And my experience is, as soon as I figure out, oh, here's the lesson I'm supposed to be learning, then the lessons to teach me that stop. Oh, okay, you got that, good. Now we don't have to serve that experience up to you anymore, so that you'll learn that lesson. You got it. So just thinking, man, second chances are super cool because essentially we get to erase and rewrite what the story is likely to be in the future. So just wanted to share that with you for a second, and then to encourage you all to see a movie which I have really grown to love, which is called The Greatest Showman. It's the story, with some literary license, of a man named P.T. Barnum and Bailey Circus. And it's very interesting because if you're watching this movie, what I like about it is that there's, it's clean, it's wholesome. The whole family can actually watch this movie. And what's very interesting, though, about the story of P.T. Barnum is that he starts out from nothing, doesn't even have a pair of shoes, really. Starts out from nothing, and he works his way through different challenges to be able to make his life what he would like it to ultimately be. And what I love is that no matter what happens to him, he starts with nothing, creates a great thing, even in the face of people laughing at him, people scorning him, people saying, you know, you're a fake and a fraud and a phony and lots of kinds of things, right? He's totally good. Embraces it, makes it so it motivates him to be able to move forward. Creates great success, and then gets distracted. Goes off and creates success, except in the moment of truth has an opportunity to say, this is interesting because the reason why I'm really doing all of this is likely to be sacrificed if I make a particular choice. And he makes a choice that actually works in the long run, not in the short term. Would have been easy in that moment to have chosen the short-term solution. Says, you know what, I'm thinking long-term. This is what I really want. This is what I really am after. And then, you know, goes home, only to find that the whole world that he had created had been destroyed. And a little bummed out, of course. And what am I going to do now? How's this going to work? Except that the people, the network that he created with himself, right? He created the network. Then the network lifts him, and then he gets. So it's awesome. The ending is awesome because what he's created through scorn, through ridicule, through challenge, through opportunities for growth, as Scott Thompson and I were talking before, right? It's through opportunities for growth, says, I don't care. I'm going to rise from the ashes, in this case, literally, and I'm going to make something that works. I'm going to make something that provides value to people's lives. And even though there are some naysayers, even though there are people who laugh and scoff and say, that's nonsense, even through all of that, it's totally amazing because he creates exactly what he wants. Ultimately, he has a family that supports him, that he can support. They can spend time together. You know, it's a great story. I would invite you to be able to look at that. In terms of second chances, in that movie, he has, you know, multiple second chances. And he takes advantage of each of them to learn a lesson, move forward, climb the ladder, become who he's supposed to become over the course of time. Now, how does any of that relate to Infinity 5? Well, I know the founders of the company. Tremendous, tremendous people. And what I'm so excited about in regards to them is that they fully embody the notion of second chances. In fact, that's kind of what we're doing here. For them, this is a second chance. For us, we get an opportunity to be able to take advantage of this. So I'm just saying that what I want to do now and in the future. The last song of The Greatest Showman is awesome. So from now on, right, I'm not going to be blinded by the lights. I'm going to live. He doesn't say this exactly, but essentially this is his message. I'm going to have life on purpose. Life on purpose. So what does that mean? Nutrition and health, right? That's purposeful. We can actually take advantage of that. We have products that will allow us to do that. And financial freedom. Because I know that I can't lift people if I'm not on higher ground. It's pretty challenging to be able to do that. I have an active lifestyle. I want to sit in front of the TV all day or all night. And, you know, I want to be able to have an active lifestyle, which will help me to live longer, physically longer. And, of course, personal development. Becoming the kind of person that I was intended to be. How can I really impact other people if I don't have much to give, much to provide to other people? So I want to become the best person that I can become over the course of time. So the notion of life on purpose, I'm pretty fired up about this whole notion. Now, we're going to get to hear from the Chief Science Officer here in just a few minutes, but I just want to spend a few minutes talking about the founders. So I've met John, Dr. Taylor on the phone a few times, and so this will be the first time I get to see him, assuming that he's going to be able to join us via Zoom, and so it's going to be awesome. right? So chief formulator, chief science officer, etc. I have met Renee. And Renee's had some chances to examine second chances himself in this last week. He had a similar experience that I did. So president and CEO of the company, together, they and others, of course, a lot of others, built a $100 million team. Now, they didn't own the company, which created some interesting challenges for them as they're moving forward, because they weren't able to really control what was happening in their lives. So just want all of you guys to really know and understand that that these guys have had an opportunity. They've grown. They've seen. These guys have been network marketers. Hallelujah. We're in with people who actually built a $100 million team. Now, through some circumstances out of their control, the company was sold, merged with another company, the company got buried. Well, now they are in complete control of this. We have on our side people who have been network marketers, built a huge team, built a huge opportunity for people, and now they're back. Second chances, right? Super cool. So website, of course, Infinity5Health.com. And you know, it's interesting. You can Google search this, and it's totally legit. You can have people search for this, and it's totally awesome. So just want you guys to know that that we can be able to move forward to help people in the world that we live in. So Infinity5Health.com. So Dr. Taylor is with us right now, but he cannot. His mic doesn't work. So Dr. Taylor, in the invitation that I sent you, there should be also a telephone number to be able to call into. So if you can't get it, we'll get it sent to you. So no big deals. Okay, now I want to just spend another few minutes just talking about the financial side of this whole thing. And ultimately the questions are you financially where you thought you'd be by now? Are you where you'd like to be right now? Are you where you thought you'd be? Now, if you asked this to P.T. Barnum, right, at any given moment in time, right? No, I didn't think I was going to be here. I thought I was going to be farther ahead. Are you where you'd like to be? No, I'm not exactly where I want to be. Do you have your current income? Now, whatever your current income is, do you have that money, that amount, your current income, times 10 saved right now? It's interesting questions, right? If you have saved as much in the next 5 years, if you save as much in the next 5 years as you did in the last, you're going to be okay with that. Wow. It's Saturday morning and you're hitting me upside the head, Clay, with these questions. Now, if you had said no to any of these questions, ultimately the question for you is, would you give something different some serious consideration? So I just want to give some context to what I'm talking about. There's lots of people out there who would teach us about wealth. And the truth is, in most respects, especially the public education system teaches us a maybe to never. Maybe I can have what I want, the life I want, to be rich, whatever that means for you, but probably never wealth plan. The maybe to never wealth plan, where 50% of college graduates have no jobs, where household incomes drop 5 years in a row, where weekly hours are down by 13%, right? 40-hour weeks down to 35-hour weeks. Labor participation rate is 31st in the world. Wages and salaries. Look, maybe you can live on $39,000 a year. But I'll tell you that 10 years from now, you're not going to be able to live on $39,000 a year. We live in a share age economy. We have taxes. This is crazy. I'm going to talk about taxes here in just a second. Interest payments. It's totally crazy, right? 41% have zero money saved for retirement. 61% have $50,000 or less. 80% have less than $200,000. Inflation, things become more expensive as over the course of time. And the rate of inflation and the rate of wage increase, of course, is creating disparity, which means it's squeezing the middle class. Now, the reason I'm even talking about any of this is because the people that you meet, you live next door to. The people that you see all day, every day are chasing something that they probably never will be able to get, which is what do you want your life to look like that it doesn't look like right now? This is totally amazing what we're talking about here. Now, that means that by the time we're age 65, we're going to be either dead or dead broke. Now, I'm in light of what my own life circumstances and Renee's life circumstances are, the average American budget, right? Just look at this and what's happening here, what's happening for people. And I'm talking about legacy stuff. What does legacy probably mean to you? Well, if you pay 33% of your mortgage like the average American does, then you're paying interest of probably between someplace over the life of the loan, 79 to 100%. If you rent, that's 100% interest. Taxes, 33%. Transportation, 21%. Credit cards, 7%. Now, if you're doing the math here, right, you can figure out that that and food and other little expenses are 98% plus of any money that you make. Now, I'm going to talk about budgeting over the course of the next weeks and months, and how do we actually do a budget in some intelligent way to help you all understand some different kinds of things in the world. So, just important for you to be thinking about, man, what's going to happen when I'm 70, 70 years old, 65 years old, etc. So, by age 65, 54% are dependent on who? Government, kids, grandkids, right? 36% still working, Walmart greeters, right? 5% are going to be passed away. 4% will be financially independent. 1% will in fact be wealthy. Just 1% of the people that are around will be in fact be wealthy by then. So what does that mean for us, right? Well, if you want to be able to make some money, we have a way for you to be able to do it. The question for this is, the simple question is, I totally love this. Do you know 3 families that eat cooked or processed food? Do I know 3 families? Yeah, yes. I do know 3 families who eat cooked and processed food. So I'm the people that I know do both, right? Cooked, and they cook processed food, right? 3 times, and I'll just tell you that what we have is a compensation plan that I call the Miracle Matrix. And the reason I call it that is because of the way that John and Renee have put this together to let us operate different than a forced matrix. This is different, right? Now, the total compensation for this whole thing is that you get 5% for every person on every level down to 10 levels. Now, if you did the math, right, calculated all of that out, there's 88,573 spots, right, positions in the compensation plan. Now, those people spend on average $60, $70, $80, right? Then 5% times 88,000, you can live pretty well on a lot of money. I'm going to show you, right, exactly what this looks like. This is why I call this the Miracle Matrix, right? So if every person right, was on the $60 plan, right, what would be totally crazy is that even at this level right here, that's about 300 and some, that's 300 and about 320, maybe 350 people, 350 people, right? Do you know 3 families who know 3 families who know 3 families? The trick in the secret sauce, the magic stuff of this compensation plan is to build in 3s. So if you have about 350 people on your team, if people are sort of in the middle here someplace, right, then, that's a couple of $1,000s a month. That's not bad. That's not bad as a supplementary income or a median income. Is just totally awesome. So this is great. Now, you wouldn't make $1,800, right? You get $1,800 plus $600 plus $200 plus 6, right? You get this, which is, right in here, $2,700. Now, if the median income is $39,000 a year, about $3,200, you're pretty much right there with 350 people on a team. 350 people on a team. You make that go down just 1 level. Okay, so you got about 1,000 people on a team, right? Then you're going to be making some pretty good bank. You're going to be making some pretty good bank. For most people, job dropping residual income does this. Now, this isn't money once, so let's just take this dollar. It's not months, this is every month. Every month, residually, with the products that we're going to be able to hear about here in just a few seconds. So I think it's important for us to be able to recognize that we're able to move forward. Now, sponsorship in this deal, sponsorship doesn't matter. You're going to get 5% on every person in your sphere of influence. Dynamic compression moves people up past 0-point positions. No points to count, no conversions to make. All the numbers are out in the open. This is not a let's see what we can do to hose you thing. People working like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain to see how much breakage they can create. We pay out weekly. Orders end on Friday, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Pay out the following Thursday. So we want to make sure that credit cards actually clear the system and then work on the other side. Payouts 50% every week guaranteed. No need to worry about point values. What points count? Qualifications, depth credit, company taking their expenses, and then hopefully paying us out of the rest. No need to rely on others for achieving or maintaining leadership levels. You don't have to build or create qualified leadership positions, right? It's totally amazing. So everything really, truly is in place, right? Everything is in place for our success. Amazing products from proven science, stable debt-free company, 50% weekly guaranteed payout, unique business structures and metrics, and a share age business model that's perfected by people who've been at this a long time. Not network marketing exactly like we know it, but for a long time. Now, here's what I want you to recognize about this, what I would call the miracle, the miracle payout, and that is that in most matrix programs, right? If this is you and you enroll in 3, so we're going to build in 3s, right? Do you know 3 families? Build in 3s. You can actually build. You can choose what this looks like. You could actually choose most matrix programs. The next person would go in the next available position, usually left to right. So the next person, if you sponsored the next person, that next person would go right there. You sponsor somebody else, that next person would go right there. This person sponsors somebody, that person for them, right? Because it's their person would go out here. This person sponsors somebody, person goes here. They don't get to choose, is the point. What I'm suggesting to y'all is that these guys have made it so that we can position people. You can build straight down if you want. You can build in different ways. You can place people in your organization. So amazing about that, because sponsorship doesn't matter, is that you get 5% on all the money. So you just count the money. If this person is $65 and this person's $120 and this person's $120, you just add those together. You get 5% of it on that level. You get 5% on this level. You get 5% on this level, all the way down to 10 levels. I'm just telling you, this is amazing. For me, and I've done a lot of different things, so there's only one structure to pay attention to. I don't have to pay attention to binaries and with sort of supplemental, actually where the real money is at, in some sort of unilevel or something. No, this allows us to pay attention to one structure, pay attention to exactly what it is that's going to create success for us being able to move forward, helps us to make our lives work. I'm just telling you, what I truly love about this is the heart and soul of the people who are running the program, people who are actually making it possible for all of us to be able to win, for all of us to make our lives work. So if you want to create success in your life, you totally can do it. You can do it. Do you know 3 families? That's the simple question. Do you know three families, okay, that eat cooked or processed foods? Do you know 3 families that want to be able to make their life work? Do you know 3 families who are sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you know a single mom with some kids, right? And they can't even hardly pay their grocery bill. Do you know 3 people who we can help? 3 people in almost every other thing that I've ever been in. And I've been in some stuff, and I coach people in about 80 different compensation plans. About 80 different companies. You know what's interesting is that auto ship for one person is usually around $150. Auto ship for one person, usually around $150. Auto ship in this for a whole family is not even that. Now, I'm telling you that some things are going to be moving, morphing, changing a titch, right? It's you know, we're on course, right? We're moving, morphing. What we want to do is to do one thing that's challenging to do, and that is to anticipate how this is going to grow. And the thing that lots of us have been in, the last thing that lots of us were in is this, and many other things. The company makes a compensation plan and then goes for about a year. If they survive a year, they go for about a year. And then they change the compensation plan for the people who come in after. They sort of grandfather the people who created some sort of leadership capabilities before, grandfather them in. Then they change the compensation plan for all the new people to make it harder. Now, the thing that we were just in, that exact thing just happened. It just happened. In the last 60 days, that exact thing happened. And I've watched this over and over and over and over and over again. So some things might change slightly during this week. I suspect to get better, not to get worse or harder. So I don't know exactly what those things are going to be, but I'm just giving you a little heads up, right? We're final paint, final nailing job, all the things are being finalized, right? This is pre-game for the pre-launch, for the launch of what we're doing here. I would tell you this stuff is super amazing. I've been taking this stuff now for a couple weeks. It's awesome. And I actually have lost some weight. And these guys have given us, you might have noticed on the website that they have this, I think it's $4.95 or $5 deal, which is this super cool little pouch deal that we have right here. And the purpose of this is to put it either in your pocket so that the Better 5 capsules, you put them inside of here and put it in your purse, put it in your car, put it in whatever you carry around, and you have capsules with you all the time. And you can use this for your own consumption, or if you're eating out at lunch, right, then you can take one and put this out on the table, right? And people will ask, the heck is what's in the thing? Well, this is super cool. Do you know 3 families? Do you eat cooked or processed foods? Well, yeah, I worked in a cooked and processed food place. Yes, of course I do. Good. Here's a way for you to actually help your body become better, your health become better, more enriched, make your life, body actually work. Second chances. This is a second chance. Health-wise, second chance. From a financial point, second chance, maybe multiple second chances. I'm fired up about who the people that I'm engaged with here, the people who we're working with, because ultimately the question will be when Dr. Taylor is done talking here in a little bit, that what's totally going to be amazing is that I'm excited for because of who I'm with. I've talked to the owners of the company more times in the last 24 hours than I ever talked to the founders of the company in the last thing in a year. Something really interesting about that. What kind of a message does that send? And interestingly enough, Renee yesterday asked me, do you think you're being heard? Does it feel like you're being heard? The answer is, man, let's go, buddy. Let's just super go and get stuff done, because I'm pretty fired up about where we're going here. So without further ado, I'm going to turn some time over to I think this is Dr. Taylor. Dr. Taylor, can you hear me, my friend? Because I just unmuted you.
Oh, there we go. I came in on the video conference, but I'm using the phone now here, so that's why you see the phone over there and my name over there. So yep, we're on.
Totally awesome, my friend. So we're going to turn the time over to you to be able to talk to us for a few minutes and to help us understand why Infinity 5, why Better 5. We're going to be living our lives in 5s now, I guess. We're building 3s, right? But we'll have access to things moving along. But can you talk for a few minutes about Better 5? I know you're fired up about this, right? We have a few minutes left on the call. So Let us know what you think we need to know moving forward, speaking points, help us understand the products, why it's critical that everyone, even if they're taking some other kind of juice or goo, why they still ought to be taking Better 5 in their lives and have this be part of them. So I'll turn the time over to you, my friend.
Great. I will try to condense an hour's worth of speaking into 5 or 10 minutes, or whatever we can afford. My wife and I are both naturopathic doctors. We've been doing our own formulas for just about 25 years. My partner in Infinity5, Renee, I've known since the mid-90s. And of course, you already have a little bit about his success in doing that. My career has really been focused on trying to fulfill a health mission to help people with their health. And when I used to do it, when I graduated from college as a naturopathic doctor, I set up a clinic. And I could see people, and I would maybe talk to them for about 2 hours and really change their life. I could see 2, 3 people a day, and that would be the extent of it. And this kind of ground on for a while until doctors realized what I had, and I started supporting doctors in their mission. Well, that helped me a lot. But both of those things are nothing compared to what Infinity5 can do to get my education and teachings out to other people and help hundreds of thousands of people. So I'm very excited to be doing this. I mean, I enjoy what I do if I'm only talking to one person, and I'll be doing that. But if I can help you help tens and hundreds of thousands, that's going to really be great. So let me give you a little bit of overview on the product Better 5. And I've got some art here on here. If we say share screen, and I put desktop, I think you should be able to see my screen. Is that correct?
You can see John R. Taylor has started. Now we have right now our penguins. Now we have Better 5, the supplement fact deal is what we have on the screen.
Very, very cool. Okay, so this is the actual label that's on the product. This is a culmination of at least 23 years of my formulation technique and constantly refining it, using better and better ingredients. Some of these ingredients that I have in here weren't even available 20 years ago because we just didn't have the farming technique. We couldn't process it. So if we can just go on the real quick 5 aspect of why there are 5 things, why are there 5 basic things, they're on the bullet points right there in the front. These are the 5 things that have been identified by natural medicine that we need to consume every day. There are some nutrients in the planet, if you ate some of it every 6 months or once a year, you'd have enough, just a fraction that you ever need. But these are the 5 things that we really need to consume at every meal. And I would go a step further and say these are the 5 things that I want to consume personally, and I would like my friends and family to consume at every meal. And I'll explain a little bit why. The first bullet point there is the 17 different digestive enzymes. This is something that as my education had, I was taught by one of the best enzymologists in the country, Stan Bynum, who was the chief science officer of Infinity back in the mid-90s. Genius man, and I loved being taught by him. I just sucked up all the knowledge I could, and I'm trying to kind of carry on his mission a bit. These 17 different digestive enzymes are vegetarian. They are either harvested from plants or they're made through natural fermentation. And the enzymes are isolated and designed to digest specific food substrates. So I tell people, if you want to digest rice, it's a pretty common meal item, rice. Well, rice is not just rice enzyme. You have to have 5 enzymes to digest rice, because rice is actually a little bit of protein. There's some carbohydrate, there's some fat, there's some fiber, and there's some sugar. So 5 enzymes will cover rice. Well, I have 17 in there. Well, there's 3 of them in there that will digest proteins. Proteins are a big part of our diet, and they are some of the most difficult things to digest. In fact, when you have an allergic reaction, it's a reaction to protein. So if you're not digesting your protein well enough and you have extra protein into your bloodstream, and then you have ragweed pollen or tree pollen or grass pollen, you're more likely to have an allergic reaction to that because your body is already overly taxed trying to digest the meals. So this is a 17 enzyme blend to digest every possible food substrate. And I did put things in here that are going to help with gluten digestion. I have no problem with gluten. I can eat pasta, I can eat pizza, no big deal. My wife has a little issue with it. So she needs these enzymes really to live and to eat, because the gluten is a protein. It's the protein part of the wheat, And if you're going to have an allergic reaction to it, that's what's going to cause you a problem. So the reason why I want enzymes to be consumed at every single meal is you're already eating food. You're eating a diet, and it may be a stellar clean diet. It may be a little bit iffy. Doesn't matter. If you don't digest it, you're not going to get any value out of it. It's like trying to run a race car on crude oil. You can't pump crude oil into a Lamborghini. You've got to refine it into gasoline. That's what runs the car. Same thing with our lives. You can't just take a piece of chicken and some bread or taters or whatever and swallow that and your body use it. It's got to be broken down. It's going to be refined into the fuel we actually use. When you cook a food, you destroy those enzymes. Every food on the planet has all the enzymes in it to digest that food. But if you cook it or even heat it, if you heat it up to 118 degrees, that's not very hot even. You're gonna destroy all the enzymes. So to digest those foods, we need to add enzymes to our diet. The reason we need to add them is our bodies can handle about a 70-30 split. If you ate 70%, 70, everything you ate was all raw, unprocessed, raw fruits, raw vegetables, raw dairy, raw meat, raw fish if you want. Our body can handle a 30% cooked. But even if we're eating a really nice, healthy diet, that's just not the case. With our lifestyle and our food chain, we're eating really probably 80% of our diet is going to be cooked and processed, although quality cooked and processed. So these enzymes, when they're taken at every meal and they mix with every bit of food that you eat, you are going to digest and unlock the vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, and power of those foods way better than if you did not have the enzymes. So just by digesting, you're going to increase your nutritional density. The density of your diet will be enriched with all the things that come with those enzymes. Next thing is whole food nutrients. As you look at this label, if you look at things that I'll talk about in the future, I don't get any vitamins from petroleum chemicals, which is very common. The most common thing is you'll see the one-a-day vitamins, Centrum, these type of little tiny pills that say, oh, well, all these vitamins are in these pills. They're literally taking crude oil, or more accurately, oil shale. An oil shale is not quite coal. It's almost coal. They'll take that oil shale and they'll rearrange the molecules and they will create a thing called peroxidine hydrochloride. Well, that sounds like a chemical, and it is. The B vitamin B6 is actually called peroxidine, and that's what you want from food. But when you get it as peroxidine hydrochloride, you just can bet it is synthetic. It's made from oil. So I've been doing 25 years of teaching people just to read the label and to understand what they're getting. Don't take petroleum chemicals. Get your vitamins from actual food. So everything I'm going to do with Infinity 5 is going to be whole food. So you're seeing things, if you look on the, I can maybe expand this a little bit. Nope, 200 is not big enough. We're going to go up to 800. That's way big. Okay, and move this over here. It's a little bit smaller. Okay, you should have a pretty good view of the right panel here. So when you look at some of the things on the left, these are vitamins and minerals that are claimed. This is done according to FDA rules. I need to label this thing properly. But on the right-hand side here, this is the Infinity 5 Health Proprietary Blend. I'm using whole food ingredients like brewer's yeast and carrot juice powder, amla fruit extract, flaxseed, kelp, spirulina, chlorella, bee pollen. All these different food items I've shopped for them because they are very highly concentrated. They were going to produce a lot of nutrition. These are the things that we're trying to supplement our diet with. I'm not trying to replace your diet with a pill. But if I can take these highly concentrated, natural vitamin-containing whole foods and put them in, you're going to get a lot of nutrition and supplement your diet. You can see below there is the Infinity 5 Health Proprietary Enzyme Blend. And it's proprietary because this is a culmination of 25 years of my life. I'm not going to give this to competitors. The exact blend of these enzymes, I disclose everything. Everything is on my label. Nothing is hidden. But I will not tell a competitor how to do this. I've gone too many things to learn how to do it the best way, and I want to give this to you in your hands as a powerful tool to go help the people health that you know. So back to our little 5 points. Enzymes, number 1. Whole food nutrients, number 2. Chelated minerals. This is very important. And when you see the names on these minerals, you're going to see it labeled correctly as calcium, not as calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is drywall chalk. Break a piece of drywall open, that white powder inside, that's calcium carbonate. That's what you're getting in most vitamins. This is one that's called calcium bisglycinate chelate. Sounds really long and scientific. There's a glycinate or a sugar molecule, bis meaning 2, and it is a chelate. What this means is that calcium carbonate is dirt. It's just soil. And you can mine it from the ground. You can mine that pure white powder and you have calcium. That's not what we eat. We don't eat dirt. If you were to plant a tree or bush or some kind of a crop in soil that had the calcium carbonate in it, it draws the calcium up into the roots, goes into the green part of the leaves, and through photosynthesis, through sunlight, water, and the nutrients in the plant, it attaches an amino acid, a little protein, to that calcium, and that's what's stored in the leaf, the nut, the tomato, the corn, or whatever we're eating. That is a chelated mineral. That is the only way the body gets mineral nutrition. So when I'm using to supplement with a mineral, it has got to be a true amino acid chelate. This is done on the molecular level. This is not taking calcium and amino acids, which you can go buy at GNC, and just mixing them together in a pot. That's just an admixture. That's not a chelate. We're talking about a very technical process, and the process that we're using for this is patented. There's a patent on doing this. And they are actually amino acid chelates, and they're all going to be that way. The difference is you're going to get 100% absorption. Whatever you see on the label is what's actually going to be in your body. Where normally if you were taking a 1,000 milligram capsule of calcium carbonate, by the time it gets into your system and doesn't digest and you get the benefit of a little bit, you're getting the benefit of maybe 23 milligrams. So you have to take 1,000 to get 23. With this method, you get everything that we're putting into the body. Number 4 point, antioxidants. Antioxidants are a class of vitamins. They are also vitamins, but they're a specific class of vitamins that are going to quell free radical damage. I could talk to you an hour on free radicals, but I'll just make it really, really quick. The effects of smoke, smog, pollution, chemicals, etc., are molecules that are missing an electron. And when that molecule goes into our body, if we breathe it in, if it touches our skin, or we eat it, or whatever, nature abhors a vacuum. It's going to try to balance that free radical. And it will steal an electron from your tissue, your organ, your body, your skin. And in stealing that electron, it does put the fuse on the bomb out, but it does damage doing it. This is aging. This is what we want to avoid at all costs. Now, you've known about antioxidants because vitamin C and vitamin E are antioxidants. There's this super antioxidant class, which are certain foods that are going to be very, very high in antioxidant power. And how they work is they are natural foods that contain extra electrons. So when we consume them and they go into our body and this little free radicals were running around looking to steal an electron, the antioxidant goes, oh, look, I'll donate to you. Here, I got an extra one. Go ahead and take this, and it puts the fuse out on that age bomb. The aging bomb will not explode if you do this. Doesn't mean we're going to live to 200 years old and never look like we have a wrinkle. But this is a thing you have to consume every single day. You really can't store them. You need to have high quality antioxidants. And this is what I've also done, again, with the whole food aspect. We can talk more about these things if we have time. Let me go back on to number 5, probiotics and prebiotics. I'm the published author of the book, The Wonder of Probiotics. Now it's been published about 7 years ago. Really enjoyed writing the book. You can get it on Amazon very inexpensively. It's been in print for quite a while, so you can easily pick up a copy. And when I wrote the book, I wanted it to be simple enough for a person who does not know what a probiotic is. And I want them to get an education from the get-go. But remember, a lot of my constituents were other doctors, other naturopathic doctors and chiropractors, etc. And I wanted the book to be interesting to them. So I carried it all the way through to, well, how do I use probiotics to help with lupus? How do I help probiotics to help with colitis or bowel distress or other maladies that are coming from having an imbalance of probiotics? So the book is very educational. If you want to pick it up at Amazon, you could do that. But this product has in it two probiotics. The two most important, and this one is Bifidobacterium bifidum and also Lactobacillus acidophilus DDS1. So every meal we want to be consuming a small amount of probiotics. And the reason why I'm saying every meal is back in the 90s when Renee and I were first working with all the famous doctors of the world that were doing probiotics and enzymes, we knew then that we're planting a garden. You want to put these bacteria in like little seeds, and you want to plant those into the gut. They are going to then implant and grow, and you want them to be the predominant species. You want to have the gut primarily with good guys. Now, to be called a probiotic, a couple things have to happen. It can't not just do no harm. It actually has to have a positive effect on the body, either by improving digestion, manufacturing B vitamins, facilitating iron absorption, making as immune mediators to raise the immune system. So they've got to be a positive thing. So the two bacteria that you're consuming here at every meal, later on in the early 2000s, we had another body of research that came out that said, well, yeah, not only are we planting a garden and we want to keep putting that garden back every day, there's also an entire other level of benefit if the probiotics are accompanying the food through the digestive tract. Now, a lot of probiotics you'll read their labels, and I encourage you to try that. You're going to see them say, oh, take this on an empty stomach. That's a red flag right there. Those probiotics are not stabilized. I was privileged to study under one of the great minds in probiotics, Dr. Kem Shahani. Dr. Shahani is the one who discovered acidophilus DDS1. 50 years ago, had a 50-year career, University of Nebraska. He's passed away about 10 years ago, and I'm trying to do my best to kind of carry on with the knowledge that he gave me to continue helping families with their health. So these bacteria then are going to go in and take over. They're going to chase out the yeast, chase out the pathogenic bacteria, and if you do happen to eat a piece of chicken salad that has an E. coli or salmonella on the sandwich, the first thing that's going to happen is your stomach acid is a barrier, and it's going to bathe the food in acid, and it should kill a lot, if not all, of those bad bacteria. If they survive and get through into the intestinal tract, this is where you're relying on your probiotics to be the predominant species, because what happens is the good guy bacteria, acidophilus and bifidum, etc., they like a certain pH range. So they crank up the thermostat on the pH to what they're comfortable with. It just happens by design that that's exactly the pH thermostat that the bad bacteria, the disease-causing bacteria, do not like. So they're going to go into an uninhabitable place. It's going to be a hostile environment for the bad guys. We want to make it a good environment for the good guys. So that's why we're taking these at every meal. Not only are you planting that garden, but you're also going to be helping the digestion all the way around. Why do you need probiotics? Because I'll tell you what, my grandma did not take probiotics. And the reason was, my grandma was a girl growing up, Coca-Cola or Pepsi was not the #1 consumed beverage. Water probably was. There were no preservatives in food. If you went to the local bakery, if you didn't bake it yourself, you went to the local bakery and bought bread, buy it, it's delicious. It's going to be bad in about 3 days. There's no preservatives. There's no chemicals. So chemicals and preservatives kill your probiotics. Chlorine in your water. Well, she had well water. She didn't have chlorine in a municipal water supply. Chlorine kills off probiotics. The carbonation in sodas, even if it's ginger ale or Perrier, it could be just bubbly water. The carbolic acid that makes it bubbly is going to impact your probiotics. Also, there is a big movement of having a lot of antibiotics, not only used in therapies and by doctors, but it's in our food supply. Farmers are putting antibiotics in the feed from the first day they're on there. So it's in our food chain. So every day we are impacting our probiotics, and we're affecting the gut health that is integral to our health. So that's why grandma didn't have to take a probiotic, but 150 years later, it's really essential for us. Our environment is really tough to live in, and we need to arm our bodies with the best we can. So this product is a gluten-free formula, and the B vitamins are all organic. Everything is whole food. enough enzymes to cover whatever you possibly could eat. On the left-hand side here, I can maybe bring this over here. You can see here Dr. Shahani's signature on this bottle. I still have a warm place in my heart for him. He really taught me a lot. These are the original bacteria, the original probiotics that was researched and patented by him, and I'm going to always use those. The little gold medallion here, this is from Albion Gold Medallion winner. This product is an award-winning product already. The Albion Gold Medallion, they are the ones that patented the technique to chelate minerals. And because I use 100% chelated minerals, I was given this award. A lot of products you'll see on the market will use one of these or two. And the rest of them, they'll just throw in zinc oxide and calcium carbonate or chromium picolinate. Chromium picolinate, my goodness, they're still in the market. I'm surprised. The picolinated acid in that chromium has been linked to chromosome damage and some precancerous conditions, but they still allow them to use it in formulations. I never will. I was always taught the truth about it, and that's why I'm trying to put together the best product. Clay, I don't know if we can open up to any questions. I mean, I've kind of given a quick overview, and I'd love to maybe do some questions if you have any.
That would be awesome. So anybody who has a question, either type in the chat and I'll read it to Dr. Taylor, or you can unmute yourself and ask Dr. Taylor straight out. So, and while we're, you know, we always have a challenge with the very first question, but I just want to say thanks, Dr. Taylor, for joining us here today. Totally amazing work and research to help us understand why this really is a super supplement, because it puts our body in a position. So this is Clay's mostly uneducated words. Puts our body in a position to actually be able to assimilate real nutrition coming in. So if people are, if we know people who are taking, some kind of other supplementation, other foods, other, green goo, shakes, protein shakes, that kind of stuff that actually have real food value to them. It seems to me that this is also putting our body in a position to better assimilate the other kinds of real foods that are coming into our bodies during the course of the day, and to more readily help us to eliminate and avoid the toxicity of the things that aren't working for us. Am I characterizing that correctly?
No, yeah, that's very accurate. I mean, this is not a new theory. This is not a new thing. This is really based in years and years and years of natural science, and it's got to make logical sense. If I can't explain it to you and it makes sense to you, then it's crazy. And I've seen a lot of things come along the pipe that have made people money, and they're just really terrible products. They just really aren't going to do anything. And of course, they fizzle. They fizzle out after a while. But this is research and ingredients that are based on 25 years of experience, and they're very, very proven. And I don't want anybody to look at my product and say, well, there's a better source of vitamin C than amla fruit extract. Well, you could use camu fruit. It's about the same, but there's nothing better. And what you're going to see mainly is, oh, you're using ascorbic acid. Well, the formulator for our company only uses whole food extracts, so it's going to be a whole different ballgame.
Awesome, thank you. And Michelle has a question. She says, when is the best time to take the capsule at a meal? Before, during, or after the meal? And then I would invite like an add-on to that, which is, if I forget during the meal or before, is it okay if I take it after? Is there any lasting effect if I take it sort of after the fact? Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, there's a couple things. First of all, the ideal time is in the middle of the meal. And think of it like you're doing laundry. You throw half the load of laundry in the washing machine, you pour the soap over the top of that, then you load the rest of the laundry on top of that. So when that machine starts churning, you're going to get the soap mixing in the mixed load really, really well. Same thing with enzymes. Enzymes are very simple catalysts, and they will, on contact, digest that food. So if you eat half your meal, have the capsule there at the table, go ahead and swallow that, eat the rest of your meal, you're going to get the ideal mix of those enzymes touching all the food and getting the best digestion. But how much does it really improve it? About maybe 7 to 10%. So if you forget, oh, I forgot. Okay, take it now. All right, you lost 7% efficiency. nothing to worry about. The most important thing is to do it. My wife always jokes with my clients and other people I've done over years that we do everything to make these capsules very absorbable, but you got to get them out of the bottle. If you leave them in the bottle on the shelf, they're just not going to do any good. So that's why we have the carrier pouch. Take it with you. Because I used to I would go out to lunch and I go, I don't have any enzymes. I don't have any Better 5. So I would run home and go ahead and take it when I got around it. But just pack it with you. It's a simple capsule, great conversation starter. But that's the best time to take the product.
Is there a problem if we take more than one? So I'm eating, I travel a lot, you travel a lot, all of us are sort of busy and et cetera. We're out and around. Is there a problem if we were to take in one sitting, let's say 2 capsules instead of 1?
No, in fact, a lot of people have certain food challenges. And the way I can use the example, this is not an attack on Italian food, but I've had a lot of clients going, if I just take one of these with my regular meals, everything's fine, doing good. But boy, whenever I eat lasagna, all that cheese and meat, my stomach just doesn't do well. And they take 2 capsules. And I said, well, it's better. Could I take 3? Yes, of course, you could take 3. They took 3. Magic number. I feel great. It digests well. I have had a few people, though, that's very funny. I would always tell people the good news about this product is that it really works. The bad news about this product is it really works. And I've had people who said, look, I don't want to take this anymore. It's making me go to the bathroom every day. And I just shake my head. I go, well, you kind of should be doing that every day. It's just too inconvenient. It's just too inconvenient. I'm not going to do it. They're just not used to being a normal, healthy person. And it's just, I used to always ask, are you regular? And I went with this one guy who was having problems for quite a long time. And he said, yeah, I'm regular. And well, finally I said, well, how often do you go to the bathroom? How many times a day? He goes, I go to the bathroom every 4 or 5 days. No problem. So I no longer ask that question, are you regular? I would say, how much are you going to the bathroom every day? So with the enzymes and the probiotics, you're going to really improve your digestion, your flow, your product, your food usage. I want your diet to improve your health as much as the product. And of course, then you're enriching it with the minerals and the whole food vitamins and the antioxidants that sometimes can be missing, and not always from dietary choices, but it could be just from the farming techniques that food was grown at or was processed. You take all the bran off of rice, you make white rice, but all the B vitamins went the way of the bran. So this way we can put in some extra B vitamins. And you can see here in the B vitamins that are up here, they're using guava, holy basil, and lemon extracts. These natural foods contain a huge amount of B vitamins. The blackstrap molasses in there has got organically bound iron. Now we've got iron in the product as an iron supplement, as ferrous bisglycinate chelate. But when we combine this iron with the blackstrap molasses, it goes right in the body. There's no constipation. There's no problem. The blood starts making more red blood cells, which hold more oxygen, which gives you better energy. And people just over a few months, I'm just feeling better and better. I mean, I thought I was okay, but I'm feeling better and better and better. So consuming these 5 things at every meal can make a really big change.
Awesome. Well, our time is well spent. Thank you, Dr. Taylor, for being with us today. And of course, we'll be inviting you in the future, and videos and lots of other things are going to be coming out, of course, as an explanation of each of these 5 things individually, collectively, right? Overview kinds of things. Lots of tools, lots of things coming, because we don't want you to have to be the doctor. We have one. Right, so let's tap into what we have here. Lots of these things actually right now are explained on the website, but we want to make sure that everybody can make cogent points when we're talking about the products and so forth. So thank you all for being here with us today. This is recorded. You can use it to revisit, so that if you need to stop or pause or whatever, it's totally awesome. Thank you again, Dr. Taylor and Renee, for putting this together. We appreciate you guys. And of course, everybody on the call that's on the call right now who's had lots of experience with me knows that I'm not a a product guru kind of person. But I'll tell you that I take this stuff. I actually am feeling better, and which is totally cool. And you know, I like to make money at the same time. I feel better. Like I don't want to outlive money, and I want to have plenty of money to be able to do what I want to be able to do. I'm going to be healthy. Awesome, but I want to be able to have the money to go do the stuff that I want to go do because I feel better, which is totally awesome. So just want to say thank you to you guys for putting this together, for introducing this to me and to essentially the whole world. And as things get buttoned down this week, I'm super fired up. So from a business standpoint, make sure we're building in threes. We're building in threes. We're building in threes. The whole deal is built in threes. So a 3x10 Miracle Matrix actually is a 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And when the last things that we've been in, we always built in threes. And even if you're in a binary, which is two-sided, right? We still teach you to build in threes. So this is a build in three. This is a for real, actually make real money by building in threes. No banked points. No, don't worry about, oh, something went away, money went zipping by me, and somebody else got rich because we don't have any of that here. This is two things. One, it's the fairest compensation plan that I've seen in a super long time. And two, it's not breakable. We're not going to break it. The company's not going to break it. We're not going to break it. It's not this. The word breakage stops. It's broken. We've broken the breakage, which is super cool. So just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for being here tonight for sure. And you'll be receiving email messages from me about things that are coming up, probably something pretty close to every day, something that will be coming out because things are happening very, very rapidly here. So you'll be getting something from me in regards to finalization of compensation plan details exactly, and launching and products, and when can people register, and when are things going to go, and when are we going to start doing 2-a-day recruiting meetings, opportunity meetings. But for sure we'll be back here Thursday night at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, but you'll be getting an email on that. And then again next Saturday at 8 o'clock Mountain Time moving forward. So again, thank you everybody for being on the call. Thank you for who you were, who you are, and who you're becoming. That actually matters. And now to the 5th degree, right? Which is totally cool. I'm not sure what even to call it. Like there's cubed and squared and whatever, right? But when we get to the 5th, what is that? That's kind of where we're at here. So thank you everybody. Appreciate who you are, what you do, and we're making a difference in the world. We're about to go boom with a second chance because this is the greatest show on earth. Thank you, everybody. I look forward to talking to you soon, and I'll send you the link to the recording of this here just as soon as it compiles. So thank you, everybody. I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day.